well closely. It's been a pretty tough year for you to date. Three concussions, with the last one being the most serious. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it hasn't been an ideal start to the year, but no, I'm going along all right. Getting better and better each day. So I've just been back home on the farm for the last couple of weeks since the incident, and yeah, haven't been able to do too much back there. Just been taking it easy, but it's been good to be back in company with the family and see everyone back home again. But yeah, it's going well.
It was a pretty scary incident against Geelong. You were cleared initially by the doctors and then felt a bit worse for wear after. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, so got the hit obviously, and then did a concussion test. I wasn't right, so I was just going to play no further part in the game, and then I ended up being on uni holidays from then. So I was planning on going home. So when parents were at the game, they drove me home, and then on the Saturday night, probably about 11 o'clock, started vomiting, and it got pretty well worse from there. So didn't sleep much that night, and then vomiting Sunday morning again. And then went to hospital after discussions with the doctor, and then had a scan, found a small bleed on all in meninges, which is just on the outside of the brain there. Yeah.
So, bleeding of the brain sounds pretty scary. What were you thinking?
Yeah. Well, my mum's a nurse, so she was a lot more scared than what I was. To be honest, I was a little bit in the dark on how serious the whole scenario was. But mum was, yeah, she was probably a lot worse than what I was. But after discussion with her, it wasn't. It was scary because I didn't really know the process behind it. But yeah, with speaking to James, the doctor, he was helpful with the clarity on everything. So yeah, we got through it in the end.
So, we've put a line through this year. Can you talk us through what the recovery process looks like?
At the 6 weeks mark, I'm supposed to be able to start with light exercise, with light walking, jogging, and that. And then January, if all goes to plan, hopefully a bit of contact work that I can start full training in, I suppose. But I've got to head back to get another scan in a couple of weeks and see a few specialists to get the all clear on the future, I suppose. But you have to wait and see.
You're one of the more senior players of the club, a co-captain as well. What sort of role will you have with the team from here on in?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame not being able to be out there with the boys. You always want to lead from the front when you're playing, but I suppose I just had to take a bit of a back seat and well, not a back seat, but just a different role, I suppose, in terms of just more bit of morale, I suppose, from the sidelines, and obviously working with the bench there or somewhere in the box maybe, but I'll be still floating around and trying to have a big impact as I can rather than actually being out on the field, which is a bit of a shame.
A bit of news this week about your former teammate Harris Andrews suffering a similar thing to what you did.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to him and spoken to him?
Yeah, I was actually speaking to him on the Friday before it because he messaged me just to see how I was and all that, and I ended up having to message him back as well on the Sunday because I heard that he got a hit as well. So it's a bit of a shame, but hopefully he can play soon. Yeah.
It's a scary thing. Seems to be happening more and more often. I guess the precautions around it are much safer for incidents like yourself and Harris's.
Yeah, it is. It seems to happen a lot more common and these days. But I suppose the technology out there to be able to identify the problems is a lot more better than what it was back in the day. So I assume that's the only reason why that the technology's there. But yeah, so I suppose that going forward we're in a lot better hands than what we have been in the past. So we trust them and we'll be fine.
Well, it's disappointing news, but we hope to see you there on game day and in years to come in the
Yeah.
blue and white.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.